Last night, moonlight and starry and fine. This morning, the shore of Labrador spread out before us in the sunshine. It calls ever so hard, and I am hungry to tackle it. Leonidas Hubbard, July 7th, 1903.
Leonidas Hubbard was an ambitious young journalist at the turn of the century. He had grown up in Michigan, came east to make his name. He landed a job at Outing magazine, but he really wanted to have a reputation greater than just a magazine writer. Labrador seemed to beckon to him as the last unknown blank spot on the map of North America. And so he thought, gee, if I can canoe my way up through Labrador and across and meet the Naskapi Indians, who are still said to be hunting caribou with spears, that would make a great story that was a lot bigger than anything that he had done so far.
He recruited a friend of his named Dylan Wallace, who was then an oldster, 40 years old, recently widowed, loose ends, practicing law in New York, never a day of outdoor wilderness experience. To balance this, Hubbard found, by indirection, a half-Cree, half-white fellow to be a guide. George Elson lived in the southern part of Hudson's Bay, nowhere near Labrador, but at Hubbard's urging came down by train to New York City and for the first time met his future.
They took a steamer north past the island of Newfoundland and arrived in an inlet where only a few trappers managed to eke out a living. With only a cruelly drawn map to guide them, Leonidas and his party traveled into one of the last unmapped regions of North America.
So they went up the wrong river, a small little thing called Susan Brook. And that led them to exhausting days of dragging their boats up what was a little more than a rocky stream, hardly good for canoeing. And Hubbard never did think to sort of wonder, am I off the wrong track?
The days consisted of endless portages, dragging the canoe and hundreds of pounds of provisions, up steep rivers and through thick, uncut forests. After months of hardship, by the time they finally decided to turn around, winter was setting in. Their provisions were low, and they began a desperate retreat back to civilization.